I'm Tim and I've been a wildlife videographer and photographer for the past 6 years. I know a lot of people are probably going to think it's laughable about the idea of there being big cats in the UK countryside, but the reality is about 85% of the UK population live in urban settings. So people are very rarely going to come out here and see that sort of activity anyway. And then you've also got to look at the statistics involved with other wildlife as well. For example, deer, which you'd expect everyone to see. We have a population of roughly 10 million deer in the UK, and the fact of the matter is that people don't see deer every day, and yet there's still 10 million of them. So the idea that there's a couple dozen big cats roaming around, it's not far-fetched to think that most people will go their whole lives without ever seeing one. But I hadn't actually had a sighting until very, very recently. So I was coming back having filmed in the mountains around the Keswick area, and I was passing through Rydal when I happened to look on my left-hand side along the fence line, and there were fields of sheep. And along this fence line I could see something slinking past the posts. And although I only saw it for 10 seconds admittedly, I'd seen loads of dog walkers throughout the day, and I knew as a wildlife videographer and photographer I can tell the difference between a canid, a dog, and a feline like a cat. And this thing was moving very much like a cat. The shoulders were very narrow, they were arching a lot as it was moving, and the tail was curved upwards. If it had been a dog, having seen dog walkers throughout the day, I'd have immediately thought that's just a black Labrador or something. But the first thought that entered my mind during that brief 10-second period as I was passing that area was, that is a cat. Having been in the wildlife videography and photography industry for 5 or 6 years now, I've met many other wildlife videographers and photographers who've been in the industry for far longer than me, and many of them have had their own sightings of big cats in the UK. But it's not just wildlife videographers and photographers. I also know several people who work in environmental organisations such as the Forestry Commission and DEFRA, who've openly admitted to me that reports have been classified that contained evidence about big cats potentially being in the UK.